Between the Israeli occupation of its lands and massacres against unarmed civilians along the coast, the situation in Syria looks increasingly grim after 14 years of war. The violence broke out last week after fierce clashes erupted between government forces and fighters reportedly aligned with ousted President Bashar al-Assad's regime, under the pretext of eliminating the so-called remnants of al-Assad. The new Syrian security forces and their allies launched a killing spree in coastal areas. Shortly after, hundreds of horrifying videos and images documenting heinous crimes against unarmed civilians, primarily members of the minority Alawite sect, flooded social media. A huge chunk of these footage was shared by the perpetrators themselves, boasting about their atrocity in a disturbing sectarian manner. Children, women, men, and the elderly, this campaign of killing spared no one and cannot be confined to remnants of al-Assad, as Western media is currently trying to portray. According to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, at least 1,380 people were killed and mass graves were discovered. Other sources estimate that the number of casualties is much higher. Many of the victims' relatives even confirmed that the victims were activists against al-Assad and had absolutely nothing to do with the alleged crimes of the ousted regime. Even when Syrians took to the streets to protest against the indiscriminate killings and mourn the dead, government forces and counter-protesters assaulted them. Syria's interim president Ahmed al-Sharaa, whose Islamist group HTS, an offshoot of al-Qaeda, led the offensive that toppled al-Assad, had vowed to hold accountable firmly and without leniency anyone who was involved in the bloodshed of civilians. The Syrian presidency also announced the creation of an independent committee to investigate the violations against civilians and identify those responsible for them. It is worth recalling that al-Sharaa vowed to protect the country's minorities. Now, is this how you uphold your promises?